Hi YouTube, please give me a moment while I connect to Facebook. We'll be getting started shortly. And I think we should be live on Facebook. Hi everybody, welcome to the Strategic Swing Trader Weekly Broadcast. I am Sami Abu Saad, Director of Education at E3 Live. Hope you're doing well. Hope your weekend is going great. We're going to talk about the market. I'm going to share with you my daily watch list for tomorrow, the plays that I'm looking to swing trade. But before we start, as always, a standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss in this video is for educational purposes only. Also, if you're new to our channel, haven't downloaded my free ebook, link for that is in the description. I also dropped my complete daily watch list in the video description. If you find benefit in today's video, please be sure to hit the like button. And lastly, if you have any questions at all, please reach out by emailing customer service info@t3live.com, info@t3live.com. So here's the market. We use these tracking ETFs to look at the market, and it's basically the QQQ, which tracks the top 100 companies by market cap in the NASDAQ. The SPY is the tracking ETF for the S&P 500 index, and the IWM is the tracking ETF for the Russell 2000. As you can see, the IWM has not budged at all. It's not moving at all, whereas the Qs and the SPY are making new all-time high. We do have 3 green bars in a row, 4 in fact on the Qs, but let's ignore the first one. 3 solid green bars in a row. So, I would be cautious a little bit because we might be pulling back sooner rather than later. But the bias on the Qs and the SPY is all out bullish. IWM is a different story. Okay, IWM, it's just wait until it starts to move before you get bullish on it. I thought it was going to move earlier this year when it started to break out on the monthly chart, and then it came back in, and it hasn't moved since then. So again, IWM, you gotta wait for proof first. The Qs and the SPY have proven themselves to be all out bullish, but again, because we have 3 green bars in a row, we might be getting a pullback in the next couple of days. Okay, all right, so that's the market. There's not much to say about it really. In terms of the individual symbols that I like for tomorrow, here they are. Okay, and again, if you want to get the complete list, it's in the video description. This is just the ones that I'm going to go over right now. The ALNY, this stock is incredibly bullish. So it would be an hourly base breakout. So over the base, long, stop under the base. Okay, so it would just be an hourly base breakout. Like it a lot. The BILI, BILI, is a China stock and is doing a daily buy setup, but I also like it on the weekly and the monthly. So I like it higher over 1626. Stop under the whole thing, which I think is 1545. No, it's actually 1525 as a long-term play. The BILI is one of my favorite China stocks. We are in the FUTU. When I say we, I mean this is an official play in the newsletter, and it's a weekly buy setup. This is another one that I really, really like, but it's a little bit late if you're not in it. But it's not too late. This looks amazing from the China stocks also. There's a few more, but I would go right now with the BILI. The Bros is, this thing is really bullish. I regretted not doing the buy setup right here and missed it, but it still looks good. 250 to 60. So I like it as a long-term play. The entry right now that's available would be over the daily base as a base breakout, and one can use the tight stop, but I wouldn't, because I'm expecting the market to give us a pullback at some point next week. So I'd give it the big stop as a long-term play, and I know that's a really big stop, but can look to add to the position and tighten the stop, raise the stop later on. The CDNA also looking really good on the monthly chart. That's a nice monthly transition A breakout. So the entry for this is not easy because it already printed a pretty big green bar on the daily chart, but basically just over the highs, stop all the way down here so as to not get shaken out of it. So give it a large stop, when the play is not perfect. When the play is perfect, you use the tight stop. So this one is not perfect, so I'd use the wide stop, and then also it's a long-term play. I don't want to get shaken out of it. So that's what I would do. Ericsson already an open position, but I'm looking to add to it because of that monthly chart. Looking great. This is my favorite kind of pattern, which is when the stock is in a downtrend and then it starts to base the 20 period moving average, that's the blue line, starts to flatten out and starts to curl and point up. So to curve up a little bit. That's my favorite. So I like this over the whole thing, which is I think 636. Stop can be right here. Okay, which is, that's 575. Okay, so I really like it on the Ericsson. Ethereum, had a really large, this is not Ethereum, this is the tracking ETF for Ethereum, 2 times Ethereum. So this is leveraged, be careful. Like it higher over 921, stop under 875, and target would be the gap fill, at least, like $11. But it really will depend on what the Ethereum chart will look like, but I like it a lot. Ethereum and IBIT. I'm in both already, but I will be looking to add if we take out the highs, especially on the Ethereum, since it printed a really small bar on Friday. Okay, so these two looking good. And then the sticking with Bitcoin, there's a couple of Bitcoin stocks that look incredible. I'm also, just as a disclaimer, in the IREN, and I have a pretty good position in it, but looking to add over the highs, stop under the pivot. If you want a tighter stop, under Friday's low. This looks incredible, especially on the weekly and the monthly. Looks like it's, it's going to the moon. Another one would be the Wolf. That looks really good on the monthly also. Broke out, but I don't think it's too late on the Wolf. Those probably are the best two. The Core Z is also right up there with them. This is not quite ready, but that's another Bitcoin stock. And then what else? I mean, I'm in the Hood, big position, because I've added to it twice. That looks good long term also, but it doesn't look as good right now until and unless it takes out that monthly bars high. So there's a few Bitcoin stocks that I really like. The NICE is transitioning. I bought the NICE as a climactic buy setup right here that day, and I held all the way up and I got shaken out, or I trailed out of it on this red bar. Okay, I wish I took it there. It's up like 11,000. Ended up, I think, making 7,000 or so when I got out of it here. But it came in, continued to drop, and then popped last week, and then it started to curl. Now this is not, it's tough because it's a small base that we're talking about, but long, stop, and target. Okay, so it looks neat, but it's very spready, so be careful. Race is Ferrari, and so this thing looks amazing. I remember when I used to trade it when it was under $100. Now it's at 422. Like it. There isn't an exact entry, but if you look at the weekly and the monthly, and here's the weekly breakout, looks good. So where's the entry? Really, it's supposed to be over 429.15. Stop is under the base. So the thing is, there's not a very clear entry, but there's a very clear stop, and it's under the whole thing, under the base. So I like all the car stocks. So race, and then TM is Toyota. It looks good as an hourly base breakout. So over the base, stop under it. Very illiquid stock is what I noticed. So just be careful. Again, over the base, stop under it. I don't, have the time to always give you the exact entry, but you just have to go and ask yourself, okay, what's the highest point in this base, and then above it, right? So it looks like it's 206.60, but then it's 206.61, but then it's also really thin, illiquid. So let's give it to maybe 207. So that's how I do it. It's not, there's no like exact science to it. It's just, being reasonable. I'm in the Tesla, which I talked about multiple times, right? Looking amazing. We'll see. But it is deep into resistance, so it would be too late to get it here, for sure too late. So I wouldn't touch it here. But is it headed to 400? Only time will tell. So maybe it gets up to 300 and then comes in, and then the next pullback is when I would get it if you're not in it already. So that's the Tesla. So all the car stocks, let's take a look at Ford. It's too late because it already popped. So in the next entry, let's take a look at GM, which was basing on the daily chart. A little bit too weak. It needs to go back above the 20, and then I still wouldn't play it because of the resistance above. But most of the car companies look good. Stitch Fix, it looks good, but it's not going. So look at the weekly, and here's the monthly. I mean, again, this looks amazing. Over the highs, stop under this bar's low. But it's a little bit sloppy on the daily chart. Snapchat is already an open position. But I like it still, if you're not in, over 1653. Stop under 1550. Okay? Like it higher on the multiple time frames, on the weekly and the monthly. Okay, so that's the Snapchat. We saw Meta pop really hard on Friday. So that's, you know, all the social media stocks. I'm in the pins also, but it's not going yet. So we'll see. Toyota, we talked about. The TMCI is a base breakout. So over the base, top under it. Looks pretty nice with room to move up all the way up. So it looks good. I like it. And by the way, I like gold. We got the CDE on Friday on a base breakout. We got the CDE, but a lot of the gold stocks look good. IAG was on my list also on Friday. That triggered the weekly buy setup. So I like it. So watch for those gold stocks to give you an entry. Some of them already broke out, but some of them will, the ones that popped will probably pull back and give us an entry at some point next week or the week after. In terms of the shorts, I don't have a lot. ANF is already an open position, but I still like it if you're not in it as a short. That's the weekly, and here's the monthly. It doesn't really get much more climactic than this, so it would be under that bar's low. Stop maybe right here. And then target would be there. Maybe if you're lucky, it gets to the 20 on the monthly. This is really, really climactic. Already an open position from 183.50. So, you know, I got it on this day. So, okay, 183.50. So, but we'll be looking to add to it if possible. The ARDX is a 1234. It looks really pretty. Under 507 by 556. Looks really pretty. The only issue is actually it doesn't have a lot of support to $4. So it does have a good amount of room. ARDX. BMEA is a base breakdown. Looks nice. Is just breaking down under 415. Stop over 475. Target 360. FFWM is a 123, just like the ARDX. Similar gap also, but this is the one that probably has support. Yeah. So if you look at the FFWM, short right here, stop right here, but then, you know, your target is not too far below. That's the only issue. Otherwise, almost picture perfect also. The RCM is a 123 with an entry under 1089 with a stop over 1126. Looks pretty, looks okay. All right, and then the last one is the Zoom, which is a sell setup. It's a bit sloppy, but here's the entry right off the 20. Here's the stop. If you want a tighter stop, use the hourly pivot or right here on the daily and target the prior low. So that's my entire bearish watch list, whereas my bullish watch list, I have over 50 symbols and I went over like a dozen or so maybe. But the bearish watches, there's not a lot. Even though, you know, I'm actually bearish by nature. Like I like to short, especially when it comes to day trading, more than I like to play long. But when it comes to swing trading, because the market is biased to the upside, right? Goes up 10% a year on average. Most of my plays are long. That like the vast majority. I have a couple of shorts, the ANF, the VST, you know, like 4. But I have 30 plus longs, open positions. So I'm always, and 83% of the money that I make in swing trading comes from the longs. So, you know, but naturally I'm actually more of a bear than a bull. So I don't know. At any rate, hope you enjoyed today's video. And again, if you found benefit, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Be sure to reach out if you have any questions, info@t3live.com. And I dropped a couple links in the video description if you want to check out what I do at T3, so feel free. And that's it, I think. Wish you the best of luck with your trading this week, and I will see you on the next one. Take care, everybody. Ciao.